Hello friend, welcome back. In your previous video from our contact us page, we are able to successfully send that a message, that means our contact details, to our database table, right? So now everything worked perfectly, and also I have checked that our validation is working, and when this message is done, then it's also display on the alert message as a message successfully done. Okay, so now they have the two issue, like when you click as a send. So here I want to do and load some of the things, like you can use some of the animation in here, rather than I want to do and to use it as a sending. This type of one of the name will be visible, and also when this message is successfully done, that our this input field, all the data should be as a reset. Okay, so there is a two issues now I want to solve in this video. Like first of all, our this button. So this button here, if you go to our there is a contact.js. So into the contact.js, that is actually one of the button. You can see there is one of the buttons. So in this button area, I want to use one of the ID. Okay, with this ID we can actually do that work very easily. I name it one of the ID name as a send button. Okay, btn. So this type of one of the ID. So now then we have to actually take it. We have to get this ID, like there is a on submit, right? So into the on submit, after this I take another variable with this late. I name it as a send button, the same name. You can actually use that any other name if you want. So I name it to the same name, and then with this document, okay, with this document and with this document, and then the get. There is also another, by default, one of the function as get element by ID. You can see there is a get element by ID. So now with this get element by ID, with this I want to get our this ID that I have already added in our button area as a send button. Okay, so I take this ID name with this variable as a send button. Perfect. So now I want to do when this will be executed, that means this message will be successful. So a successful message is that is I have already added in our else area, right? So now into this else area here, I want to do and to execute it. So I want to make it as a name. I name this variable. I name it variable as a send btn. Okay, so now that will be as a send btn. But I want to use it in here. So this send btn will be as inner HTML. So there is also another attribute as inner HTML. I want to use it as inner HTML. So into this inner HTML area, that means in our same places, it should be replaced with our new one of the name. So now I want to pass on the string value as a sending. Okay, sending. So laterally I will also use some of the animation. If you want, you can use it like that. Will be one of the loading animation will be better, right? So now I want to use it this type of one of the inner HTML code as a sending. So now that should be displayed as this type of one of the sending message. Okay, so now that should be displayed as a sending message. So now this sending message, okay, better I want to make it into the same line. So now this sending message I want to execute when that will be displayed this alert, right? So it this alert, that is our successful. That means when this status will be equal 0, when this response data will be as a 1, then I want to display it in here. Okay, after that alert, here I want to make it as a send our btn, and there is our button name, right? So there is a send btn, the inner HTML, also the same, there is a inner. Okay, inner HTML. So into this inner HTML, now that will be replaced with the send, right? So that is our send. I want to use it. So here I am actually using the send, you can see. So now that will be actually replaced with this send. Perfect. So now this will be replaced with the send to the sending, and when it will be done, then it will be again with the send. Everything is look like perfect. Okay, and also I want to do the same things for the error. That means for the error here, you can also pass it. Okay, you can also pass it in here, and also I want to pass it into the cache. Okay, into the cache area I want to pass it. You can, if you don't want to pass it, then it's totally fine, but that is important. Okay, so now I want to check it. Click the save all. Now I want to refresh this page. So from here I pass another one as a Udemy. I make it as a udemy@gmail.com. I message from Udemy. Okay, message from Udemy. For use purpose, now click as a send. You can see it's now updated as a sending. Okay, so now it's replaced with the sending, and that is our successful message. And when this successful message will be done, that means when that will be successfully done, then it should be sent. This send button inner HTML, I make it as a send. So now that should be again as a send. Click as a OK. You can see now that is updated as a send. So our first issue is completed. So now there is a second issue. Our message is successfully delivered, right? If you go, you can see our message is successfully delivered, but our this text this already in here. So I want to reset it. So if you want to reset it, you can do that work very easily. Let's do that work. We have to go to our form. So that is our form, right? So into this form area, I want to take one of the ID. So into the form area, I want to take another ID, and I just name this ID as a contact form. Okay, contact form. So that is one of the contact form. So this type of the ID. So now also first of all you have to take it. I copy it, and then in our first is that is our on submit method. So into the on submit method, that will be same. I take one of the another variable as a late. I name the same name as another. That is one of the variable, right? So you can actually change it as per your demand. Then that will be as a document. So that is a document, and then the get element. Okay, get element by ID. So there is a get element by ID. Our ID name, I pass the name as a contact form. Okay, friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So now I want to actually just reset our this math function. I take this get element with the contact ID. I take the things with this variable, and now when that will be as a successfully done. Okay, after that successfully done, here I want to do with this contact form. Here I want to do, there is another default method as a reset method. So I want to declare this reset method. Okay, so that I want to declare this reset method. So here I simply load our this reset method. So that's all. That means when it will be successfully done, then our this total form will be as a reset. Okay, that means that is actually our total form. You can see that the form area I have actually take this ID. So now this total form will be reset. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, okay, if you click as a save all, now go, I want to refresh it again. Now I name it again as a easy, and I make it as easy@gmail.com and easy message. So now let's check this out. Click as a send. It's working. Successful message is displayed. Click as a OK. Yes, you can see our total form is now reset without loading this page. Okay, that means everything great. Right now we don't need this. Okay, I make it clean. That means everything is great. Okay, so everything is great. So now our data is also successfully inserted. Great. So they have the two issues, and two issues is successfully done. So next video I want to use some of the toaster message. Okay, so here when this all that validation, you can see all that validation is displayed like that way. So here I want to use some of the toaster message. How can you use some of the toaster message in our next video? I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.